Yo, what's up? Welcome to the second part of the homestuck iceberg. Yeah. Unfortunately, I forgot my chargers at my grandparents' house. So, my Kindle is dead, and I can't play music on my end. I'll probably edit music in, but for me, it's gonna be pretty boring. That means I have to do more editing. Yay. Anyways, let's just get started already. I think this is the second layer. I don't know, something like that. Hussey's form spring. He has one. Some people asked him some questions, and here's a pretty short and silly question from there. Yeah, I'm gonna edit that in. Every version of every character we've seen has initially died. Every character we've seen initially has died. This is a true fact. John God tier, so now he's technically his dream self, so he dies by doing that. Same with Rose and Dave. Kanaya dies but comes back because she's a rainbow drinker. Carter Cat dies in game over. And if they're not listed here, they're also probably died in game over or by God tiering. Or, the whole Gamzee murders everyone. Dave said the N-word, I believe, in the background of whatever message board he got the video to show Gamzee that made him go crazy. He said the N-word or something like that. Kanai has a thing for femininity. This may be some hussy joke from the abyss of the universe, but I don't have the guts to look it up. It also could be referring to some comment on Hussey's previously mentioned form spring, which is stated a different thing. Cronus is a nope. Yeah. Secret pages. Unnumbered pages linked out sources that are still a part of the narrative, yada yada. All the links on the site I found were dead. Gigapods. Hussey took a break on Homestuck for an entire year. The Babies too. A song made by the Cool New Music Team, which is the music team for a Cool New webcomic. Tavros body horror. So I mentioned, so my original thing said it was a cursed fandom joke, but this was actually a removed segment from Paradox Space. Yeah. Soap bars lime bloods. The theory that the soap bar slime is used to keep trolls calm and help them rest is made of lime bloods, and this is a pretty solid theory considering lime bloods have calming abilities, Karkat's Shushpappin, according to the extended Zodiac, which I'd take with a grain of salt personally. Karkat is labeled as a mutated mutant blood. Homestuck is my intellectual property, copy pasta. When Hussey joined Tumblr for a little while, this was a part of the trolling attempts directed towards him. MSPA Homestuck domain change. The domain for MSPA was unfortunately just changed to be called Homestuck. This also caused a bit of destruction towards the consonants on the website. For a brief while, Matuna's unique chat box looked like everybody else's, and it was just kind of broken. Cherub culture is impossible. One cannot live off of only meat and canned deeds. Physically impossible. That, and there are only 2 living cherubs at a time, so yeah, you get the point. Brobama. Whack ship, sea sulks, Captain Jerry Seinfeld. Fancy Santas. Weird reoccurring figurines of Santa. First showed up in Problem Sleuth. Homestuck beta. Homestuck had a much rounder beta. I still love you, Round John. Where all the characters were actually going to be 11. Dead trained trolls are alive and well in Earthsea. I have found no theories or anything about this, so I guess not. Alexander. Someone asked Hussey if the characters' names were actually nicknames, i.e. Dave is David, John is Jonathan, Rose is Rosaline, Jade is Jaden. But he said none of them were, except for Alexander, and that is 100% canon. This is most likely a joke, and I don't think anyone would be mad if you see it as such. But I don't see why you wouldn't not want his full name to be Alexander. Homestuck's art is completely symbolical. No idea where this comes from, but because of Hussey self-insert just existing, makes sense to me. Skynet lore. There was once a website for Skynet that included additional lore for the company, and for her Empress Condescendent, but it was nerfed due to anti-Semitism for showing Hitler with a ninja backstory, even though it mocked him to death, and so it technically, in my personal opinion, wasn't really anti-Semitic. I don't know. Grandpa English was Obama's father. In the Skynet lore, who can be assumed to be Grandpa talks to Obama and claims to be a relative. Insane clown posse knows about Homestuck. I don't care to look this up, so I'm taking Opie's word for it. Eat 3 years comic. Apparently, some more NSFW that cursed the fandom. I mean, that's what I got from a basic Google search. Hello, kitty. The Strylons are canonically Jewish. Rose's wedding and the dialogue between Dave and Tavros reveal this. Hussey supports Bernie Sanders. Yeah, he does. He showed a voting day from him voting for Bernie, blah, 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 whatever. Troll lips. It's a thing I actually typed. In question, they exist, considering... It is in question if they exist, considering trolls don't need them. And it don't stop. Commonly referenced comic by Hussey and co-created by... I'm not gonna say that name, because I don't know how. Optimistic Duelist, a Homestuck YouTuber. He makes some theory videos. He unfortunately got caught up in some of the really bad fandom drama. Homestuck's Megalovania wasn't used for Smash Bros. Nope. It does sound a bit closer to Homestuck's than Undertale's, but it's definitely not just Megalovania. Leprechaun Romance. A running joke in the comic that never got anywhere. We still don't actually know what any of it is. Strider's Nest. A horrible popular ship should be closer to the top of the iceberg as everybody knows about this cursed garbage. Unofficial Homestuck Collection. A restoration of the original comic in its full glory. Pigeon Podcast. A podcast for the Homestuck team or something like that. GDFI Dave. A fan parody song of Coin Operated Boy. It is a similar story to Carcalicious. Sad Stuck, creations that are extremely depressing and sad. Hussey's Tumblr. Hussey made a Tumblr and it got decimated by the fans on there. Crockery. Popular ship between Cronus Sampora and Cancrevantis. No, I don't know why it's on here. I guess it's a little weird, but... yeah. Carcat goes to a convention. An amazing MSPFA about Carcat getting sucked into another universe that happens to take place at a Homestuck convention. Read it, it's pretty great. Hussey's Classpect. It's something we know for sure that he's a space player, though. The common joke is that he's a waste of space. Alt Calborn. Because Alt Calabi exists, he probably does too. Accidental cameo references. I have no idea. Locale and Futurama. Nope, can't find anything on this either. Iridan Grimdark. Most people believe Iridan went grimdark. Whether or not this happened is absolute mud to me. Vriska is trans. In PesterQuest, yes. However, as we see her as not only a very young child and a baby, and she was... well, at least she still looked like a female, so who even knows at this point. Kate Michelle. A person who worked on Homestuck. She was a bit of a jerk and a Vriska stan. Technical... no. The trolls' relationships parallel their ancestors, thus leading to... yeah. Tavros superglued horns cosplay. YouTuber superglued Tavros horns to his head for a Homestuck cosplay. Vriska did nothing wrong. An in-fandom joke. I think some people take it seriously, but most of them don't. The baby is you. Letomorph in Pokemon. Yes. The Void, Part 1. That's what I said. Nepeta never died. She did. However, most people thought she didn't die because she didn't have a death screen like everyone else and wrote it off as a reference to Schrodinger's cat. Bonus commands. If you made a donation, you could access bonus commands. Now, pretty much anyone can access them by using Google. Null.mp3. A test song. It's not as scary as you think it'd be. It's actually pretty neat. Yes, I did listen to it. Jake English is elitist cosplayer. A very egotistical Jake cosplayer who decided to be the ruler of all cosplay and say who cosplayed what based on gender and skin tone. 4 chords, weird Gamtab fanfiction. John has seen furry stuff. Apparently he has. White guy who's raps. Something John said once. If more people remembered this, it would start World War III. Jade English, Jake's grandma. Troll romance is a social construct. Technically, troll and human romance aren't that different. They're just interpreted much differently. Nipita vent glitch. Very nightmarish audio plays if you leave the vent as Nipeta after going into the first vent shaft. Chad Buskin. What Dave's name would have been if Hussey wasn't tired while picking a suggested name and chose the wrong one according to his criteria. Bloodspade, a hidden page of the Midnight Crew that can be accessed by changing the URL and is literally just a picture of a bloody spade. Hold on, I gotta let my cat out of my room. No? Adventure Time reference. And in one episode of Adventure Time, there is a creature who looks like an Imperial drone. Act Omega, an MSPFA that continues the story before the kids open the door. Bill Bullen, a guy who worked on some of the homestuck music. He left after throwing a tantrum about professionalism or whatever, and the songs used in the flashes were cut and replaced. Hussey's donation sketches. Stuff Hussey drew to help raise money for a tsunami to relief funds in Japan. Let me reread that. Stuff Hussey drew to help raise money for tsunami relief funds in Japan. They're pretty amazing. Team Special Olympics, an old site for Hussey's webcomics before MSPA. Briska is a Mary Sue. She holds some traits of being a Mary Sue. She instantly comes back after being killed, and her narcissistic behavior is rarely questioned. However, she does pay the price for some of her horrible actions, such as losing an eye and an arm. Even so, effects on her are minimal. She does have to feed her spider mom with other people, which proves her is not a Mary Sue and just a terrible person. Well, in my opinion. I don't think she's a Mary Sue. She doesn't scream Mary Sue. She's a flawed character. She's just not a good person. Forgive me for my pronunciation of this, but Mayanaka was supposed to be the leader of the Midnight Crew, but that didn't happen. Cherub stuff. The entirety of Cherub Pop reproduction relies on it. Archived MSPA posts. There are a lot of posts on the MSPA site, now Homestuck site, that were not archived. Earthsea Society is a product of racism. I have no idea about this because I refuse to read Homestuck 2. Or the epilogues. Hackbent. Another MSPFA about Alternatian trolls who are kidnapped by a mysterious being that makes them play an illegitimate copy of Spurb. Cursed Tavros, a weird doll of Tavros made out of tinfoil, commonly shared around groups in the fandom as a joke. Carcat is trans. And I'm just gonna assume this is a headcanon by the creator or something, because this isn't, like, a canon thing, to my knowledge. If it is, you can correct me, but yeah. House of Dirk, a sitcom-style fanfiction about Dirk and Caliborn. I don't know what... Cherub Vantas parallels. There are many similarities and parallels to cherubs in the Vantases, such as blood colors and the 6 and 9 on Calliope's jacket. Yiffy's real name is Ruby. The creator of Yiffy and called her Ruby as a throwaway name, and people took that as a real name. Unfortunately, it is actually just Yiffy. A lie. Funk McLovin, another Homestuck YouTuber. I don't know much about them aside from they make content more focused on fandom drama, concept situations. Made a video about troll biology. Yeah. Slurs and Homestuck. Back in the 2000s, slurs were more acceptable to use and were commonly used in internet circles, so yes, there are a few in Homestuck. I'm Good, I'm Gone. Another MSPFA about a troll joining the Alternatian army. Act 6 was ghost-written. A theory that Act 6 was actually ghost-written by one of Hussey's online friends because of the drop in quality of art and writing. Act 6 was oh wait, I already read that. TLC Stuck, an MSPFA about an alternative ending to Game Over. Earthbound parallels. Homestuck is full of Earthbound parallels, the name included. Act 8, another fan continuation of Homestuck. It is also an MSPFA. Fat Briska. Andrew Hussey jokes about wanting to fatten up Briska and take her as his wife. Mackin, a Homestuck Reddit bot or something like that. Haterad Catalaz, one of the fan trolls, someone who won a comic competition that had a prize of getting their fan troll used in hiveswap. Caliborn's masterpiece is him ruining Homestuck through post-canon content, a common fan theory. Squiddle lore. There's Lord of Squiddles, which is a cartoon in the Homestuck universe. It's pretty crazy, actually. Guide Stuck, another MSPFA where the sprites are people and play Spurb. Stuck, an MSPFA that is homestuck but body terror. Steven Universe references. There are some possible references to Homestuck in Steven Universe, such as Pearl mentioning a 612-piece puzzle. Hussey's IRL Cal doll. Hussey has a Cal doll in real life. Hussey is married. Yes. Canon voices. Some of the submitted Homestuck songs included voices. Technically, these aren't 100% canon because Hussey never said they were, but they also are because they're official songs. And, yeah. Homestuck cosplay proposals. People have proposed while in cosplaying Homestuck characters. Kaneki does Alternia. Guess what? Another MSPFA. The Genesis Project, a Homestuck fan game that kinda lets you play Spurb. Joel McDonald's, another MSPFA. Kidding, something a ton of Homestuck do. To my understanding, it's a way where most Homestucks say they just relate to a character, but it also means something else, and yeah. Whistles, the Starlight Calliope, another comic made by Andrew Hussey. That is canon, and in the epilogues in Homestuck 2, yes it is. Ryan Quest, I think it's a comic made by Hussey despite some guy. But even after reading it, I really can't tell. Homestuck 2 was originally going to be released in physical form only, yes, because what comes in wants money. 0045.gif. A GIF made before all the retcon stuff that proves he added link blots in after. He is in Hussey. John's sprite change. In the first few pages, John's hair was angled up a bit more than it was before. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg knows what Homestuck is. Enough said. Pants Cat. Alternatively, Pant Cat, as it is written on the iceberg. In one oversimplified panel of Homestuck, Cat looked like he had pants pulled all the way up to his shoulders, so people started to make jokes about it, and it also inspired the Signless's leggings, or should I say crop top bodysuit. Homestuck audience research. The Webcam Pumpkin team released a poll to see what the audience wanted to see in the future. Something tells me they did jack squat with this information, especially considering Eridan still doesn't have a redemption arc. Simpsons reference. In the Simpsons comic series, there was a background reference to the Homestuck fandom. However, the colorist missed the joke and messed everything up. SCP-2721. An SCP based on Homestuck that is a ridiculous self-insert entry. I do agree that it's a bit over top and out of place, not to mention it seems like the author couldn't take criticism either. I don't really know because it wasn't there when it happened and the original entry was so boring that I didn't want to read it. Instagram subculture. There is a nightmare subculture of the Homestuck fandom on Instagram, despite having my own Homestuck-themed Instagram page, which I never use ever. I suggest you stay 50 feet away from it. It'll ruin your perception of the amazing comic that Homestuck is with a stupid obsession with politics and trying to make you follow their every word with the idea that you're a terrible person, if you don't. But there is a lot of really cool fan art on there. Like, seriously. Jade Root, Homestuck fanfiction. I refuse to research any further because I don't want to read it. A discussion on the meteor. Dave Cat fanfiction or something like that. I don't care anymore. Homestuck will be censored. Before I delve in, first I want to mention the Paradox Space comic that I already mentioned. Was already censored because of body horror. It was a panel of Tavros' head splitting open and oozing goop. I think this could also mean that in one point, the future Homestuck on its official main site will probably be censored due to its more dated language, but I'm really not sure. Carcat's original room. When Carcat's room was first shown, it was a lot different. Hospitals don't exist on Alternia. They probably don't. Time-traveling Gamzee cosplay. An image of a Gamzee cosplayer that was labeled to be taken before he was introduced. Theater of Kootley. Another Homestuck fanfiction. At least this time there's some news, so I don't have to watch it. It's hilarious and stupid. Go watch the movie thing. It's about 4 Dirks who are in a room and they have no idea what they're doing. And they are in search for the author. It's on AO3 or Archive of Our Own. And again, there's a movie made on YouTube. It's really funny. Empora stuff is canon. As he said it was, I now believe nothing after Homestuck or said or written in a comic is actually canon. Thanks to coming to my TED Talk. Vriska Act 4 design. I think that this is referring to a section of Vriska where a little bit of her is shown. Some people think this is a beta sprite because it does not fit 100% with her original sprite. Bro has lines of dialogue. He said he has can't abscond bro in a strife, as well as the note he gave to Dave. HTML quests. Some fanfictions are made to play as a single-page HTML format for your browser, aka their mini video games. Quest for the Missing Spoon. A Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff comic. I can't read it, because I have to pay for it. Reddit Stuck, another MSPFA. The bottom layer. The felt MSPFA is lost media. Most unpreserved medias are lost media. This one, however, is important because it was made by Manaka, who was the winner of some competition that I mentioned him before. Home Slice. It's another MSPFA. They eat mesa. A Homestuck themed cookbook. A Homestuck themed cookbook. There we go. Official Midnight Crew game. There was a Midnight Crew official game, I guess. All I could find was a file archive. Problem Sleuth map. There's an adventure map for Problem Sleuth. Hussey addressed Hussey Rua. Hussey Rua is a really weird ship with Hussey and some anime character, and it's cursed and apparently addressed it. Terezi and Gravity Falls. In the episode of Gravity Falls where Seuss tries to get a girlfriend and then buys a haunted dating game, there is a character in the background of one of the scenes that looks a lot like Terezi. Eagle Time. On a forum called Eagle Time, there's a bunch of Homestuck content made. Marceline, Wendy, and Vriska connection. I have no idea what this actually means. 2007 Homestuck beta. A fake Homestuck beta thing that was made on Twitter. Dave Sprite. No. It's just another curse ship. There's not much else to say on the matter. 16 million Homestucks. There are at least 16 million Homestucks on planet Earth. That's all I got for that. Bustin' by Neil Cicerega. I have no idea why this is on here, but you should listen to it. It's pretty cool. Rope Pog. This could mean literally anything at this point. Spurb session based on checkers. No, it's based on chess. Mayor's Jack Noir. No. Spurb done quick. Spoilers for the MSPFA. Everyone dies. Broadway Carcat is dead. I mean, he doesn't make Homestuck content anymore, but I don't know that that's actually true. Viz Media. They're a past Homestuck publishing company. I don't know why they're at the bottom. Well, they used for a while. I think when this iceberg was made, they were actually still a publishing company for Homestuck, but they stopped now, I think, or something like that. Cool Dude and Stoner Lou, a parody of Sweet Bro and Jeff by Hussey himself. Spurb sessions are based on other board games. I didn't say anything about this other than I'd like to see how Sorry, like the game with the weird transparent chess piece, not chess pieces, like the, you know what I mean, fits into Homestuck lore, and if anyone can possibly stretch everything out enough to connect it like that. YouTube Troll Police. People who really hype fandoms, especially Homestuck. Equius Broken Horn is a mighty horse. Horse proves otherwise, but okay. Bro cosplay Confederate basement dweller. I want to know more, but I also don't have the guts to Google that, especially since I might not find it. Vriska life-size doll. After a Google search, I'm happy to say this doesn't seem to exist. Keisha Stuck, another MSPFA about Keisha and some other celebrities playing Spurb. Iterate catalyzes a lime blood. He was originally made by the creator to be a lime blood, however in hiveswap he is a teal blood. However, again, as someone mentioned on Reddit, he may be hiding his blood color so that he isn't cold. John is related to Badman. Who knows what old Condi was up to back then, he could be. Mpreg Spleet Proen comic. This probably exists. Shit. MSHCHTS2H. Another MSPFA made by Big Sharon25 on Instagram, and yes, I do follow her. Homestuck is a white savior narrative. I'm just gonna copy paste what u/ABCQ20 on Reddit answer is here. I can read it aloud because I have no idea what they're talking about, but it sounds right. The connoisseur's being stupid and primitive kind of plays into the essentialist ideas of technological development and the corresponding narrative that cognitive development drives from technological innovation. They completely rely on that word players who they treat practically as gods, such as John before God-tiering and after God-tiering, but they don't actually know that's John, to solve systematic problems like polluted oceans. Of course, in their universe, this is just reality, but Spurb is a universe work. It is not a fictional world in the sense that it's not existentially subordinate to parent reality, but is a constructed world with constructed inhabitants who exist further in a constructed narrative. I'm not explaining it very well, but the narrative of Spurb is that the players are white, human trolls, Spurb, whatever, saviors, and the connoisseurs are backwards and primitive. In reality, their society is not because they are primitive or stupid, but because in Homestuck universe, authors of Spurb wanted their society that way and wrote the connoisseurs as the in-universe creators that a society in a way they felt justified it. I probably butchered all of that. You get it. Homestuck's various parts parallel the progression of Kanye West albums. I have no idea if this is serious or a joke, but okay. Sweet Bro and LJF originated on Penny Arcade forums. Yes, it actually did. Fine art reviews. There are a ton of reviews for Homestuck in places you wouldn't expect a review for Homestuck. John's shirt is based on Green Slime Ghost and not Slimer. This is true. John's shirt is based on a bootleg drawing of Slimer for candy or something, not the actual Slimer. Dave Strider is the... I don't even want to say that. Bernie Hill Polyturbo Nerd is either some joke or a fandom interpretation of Dave, but I have genuinely no idea. Either way, it's wrong. Joey saw Forrest Gump. She probably said something that was a reference to it, but no, I have yet to watch Forrest Gump, but I probably will someday. Hussey drew Yeah, he probably did. Eric, a guy who wrote music for Homestuck. Every character's trans. I don't even know at this point. Carcat did nothing wrong. He did. He called autistic as an insult. Despite that being out of insecurity, he still probably shouldn't have done it. Fireman will be Joey's love interest. I have no idea anymore. It took me a minute to figure out who Fireman actually is. I'm not kidding. None of MSPFA was done on MS Paint. Yeah, actually only one picture was. None of it, other than that, none of it was done. Here, let me reread that. Actually, one picture was. But other than that, yeah, none of it was done in Paint. It was all a dream. Ooh, what a fan theory. Ooh, totally not an overused troop. Ooh, it's on this iceberg as a joke, probably. Ooh. Calborn is Jade and Carcat's genetic offspring. This is an actual theory, but I don't have the will to look it up right now. Thumbquius, according to the iceberg creator, if I'm remembering correctly, this is something someone said while roasting the Alternia bound sprites. Which, I mean, they're not wrong. He does kind of look like a thumb. Irement Erebus, another almost canon fan troll. However, the creator backed out of the commission and they weren't added. I didn't mean commission, I meant like the creator backed out of the what was it? It's the creator backed out of the fundraiser. Yeah. MSPA Prophet, a guy who utilized Tussie's web design to tell people what MSPA updates were before they actually happened. Gamzee, the in the egg. No, I have no idea what that means, but no. Junex John, some people on Instagram genuinely ship this. Or not. But either way, it's cursed. John Rose and Kanaya comic by artists who worked on Collide. It's cursed as well. Can't crease tall pants as a binder. That's not a canon proven fact, but I'm just gonna guess this is a headcanon and move on. The Raphael Parable Homestuck reference. There's a desk called Desk 413. Clown Stoner. Roll 34 Homestuckers. There's no bottom to Dirk. What? Vriska, a guy who ships himself with Vriska and makes some fairly impressive 3D models. I have heard he's done some bad things, such as forcing a child to draw an SFW of him and Vriska, but I have no proof of this happening and cannot say whether or not it actually did happen. That. Probably another MSPFA. Word I'm not allowed to say of Hope. Someone who was so obsessed with June that they attacked people because of it, and made constant posts scorning people and being generally an awful human being. They have since left Instagram and are questioning their horrible actions, and I'm glad to hear that they are doing that. However, it still doesn't really make up for the things they did, a lot of which I severely doubt they'll actually acknowledge, but you know, I still hope for this for him. Don't go and attack anyone. That was mentioned on the iceberg. You know this. You should know this. Don't attack people, please. And with all of that out of the way, that was the homestuck iceberg. I'm done with it forever. Thank goodness. Yeah, tell me what you think about it. If I got stuff wrong, tell me what I got wrong. I probably got a lot wrong. About that Confederate bag basement dweller Dirk cosplay. If you know anything about that, I'd actually like to know. A genuine curiosity. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that I mentioned just clearly didn't know anything about it. If you could tell me, that would be cool. Oh, pin your comment or leave a heart on it. Other than that, yeah. Thanks for watching, you're a bunch of nerds. See you later, suckers.